Hey there, it's Richie D here, and we're looking at the Oculus 360 photo app today on the Samsung Gear VR. The photos are pretty incredible, especially the Mars and Chernobyl ones, which I'm going to show you today. Let's check them out. All right, so we're going to press select to go into the 360 degree, and the first thing you're going to see is a very cool interface for VR, which I think they've done a really good job. If this is the developer edition, it's almost ready to go to market, to be honest, in terms of a consumer friendly. I've just done a full rotation. As you can see here, this is already in 3D, so I'm in this sort of landscape here, and these photos are actually in a three-dimensional kind of floating in front of me. If I swipe, oops, I actually went in, I actually touched it. But let's go here first. Okay, sounds good. Sunset on the Remarkable Rocks. So let's have a look around. So you can see here, the clarity is so much better than, say, the videos. And that's probably the distinguishable thing between the photos and the video at this stage. And the other one, of course, is that you can look right down, and there's only a small spot there where the 360-degree camera was. And you can look up here and you can see the detail and the color texture of the clouds as the sunset comes. So let's get back out. All right, so from here, if you wanted to go somewhere else, you just simply flick forward, and we can go all the way across to check out all the different photos within this category. We can swipe down to go to other categories as well. So there's underwater, there's Mars. Now let's go to Mars. Mars is very cool. So let's do this one here. This one, day 437. All right, let's click into this. All right. So again, as you can see here, I've got a couple of options as well. I can favorite this one. So let's look around first before we do favorite it. If I move away, you can see that eventually the text will also fade. It should fade right now, and so will that cursor as well. So really, you're just left with you and that Mars landscape to look around and look at the detail here. This is fantastic. Now, of course, the unsettling thing, of course, I've got my hands reaching out because I feel like I can touch it. There's so much detail there, but obviously my hands aren't there. The other thing about this particular photo is because it's a montage of a lot of different photos, there's actually no stop point. There's no little black spot down the bottom where the lens might be. So you can actually look all the way down, all the way up, and you will see everything. So I'm just doing a quick rotation in my swivel chair here to look at the complete Martian landscape. Now, I like this photo a lot. So the thing that I'm going to do is star it. And I'll show you how that affects things later. We'll go back out. Maybe try, let's have a look at this one, Martian night. This looks cool too. Let's see what we get. And look at that sky. Now again, at the moment, with the way the videos are, you do not get this level of definition. And because we're on Mars, we don't kind of expect it to be moving much anyway. So it's not like we've been taken out of this kind of hyper reality, if you like. I think it's very cool. As I move around, you can see a little bit of a wave as you move across, but it isn't that disconcerting, to be honest. Look at that. That is very cool. I mean, the detail here is just incredible. This looks fantastic. I hope you're seeing all this in your own 3D viewer as well. I definitely recommend you do that while you're looking at this. Get your Google Cardboard or other 3D view that you might have. All right, let's go back out of here. Now, Chernobyl happened back in 1987, and it's obviously been deserted since then. But let's go back, or let's go there and see what's happening in Chernobyl. All right. So you can see here, trees are growing where concrete once was, and this would have been a very bustling area of town because obviously all the workers came here to work on the nuclear reactors. But you can see here that nature has pretty much taken over. If we go back out, we can then go to look at other areas like the Ferris wheel. Let's see here. So we'll move around. We're going to look right down, all the way up. Oh, and there's the Ferris wheel. Now that looks really cool. There's a lot of depth there. I hope, again, you can see this in your own 3D viewer, but I'm going to put my head around and look all the way around that. And that looks absolutely incredible. And again, Because we're in a deserted town, I don't expect really for much movement to be happening anyway. Oh, look, there's a couple of people, a couple of statues just standing there, frozen in time. All right, let's move out of that. Nope, both went back in accidentally. All right, let's look at the gym. What do we have here? So this would have been the gym. But again, looking at the texture, the detail, I mean, you can imagine the educational purposes of Gear VR and extended, just virtual reality. I know that Road to VR and other websites have spoken extensively about the ability to be able to take students into environments that they would never otherwise be able to experience, and to have a much richer learning environment in which to appreciate maybe history or environments around them. And this is a perfect example of that, this absolute desolation of this town of Chernobyl. I was very, very young when the meltdown happened back in '87. I still remember it. So that's pretty much the 360-degree photos. Now, if we go back up now, all the way, there is now because I've favorited one of them, you can see here, I'll go all the way up, and there is the favorite that I made. So if I go here and, for example, we choose maybe, let's see, a mysterious lagoon. And let's have a look around. Oh, there's a diver. How you going, dude? Look around. Now, this is quite interesting because we're in a photo that's been effectively but it's been shuttered. So we can see bubbles frozen, we can see divers, but we can see no movement. To me, this looks much more like a photo that you're kind of interacting with and appreciating and looking around. Ones like Mars and Chernobyl, where you're in a fixed location, but you're not expecting there to be movement, almost looks live, if you know what I mean. But these ones do look like photos. I'll give you a good example of that. If we go to this one called Unusual, and we go to a beehive, you can see here. So you can see all these bees flying around. Now, obviously, the resolution of this particular one isn't as good because a lot of close-ups, but it doesn't feel as real because you know that you aren't that small for the bees to be that big. But when you're on the Mars location or in that Chernobyl, you suddenly feel like you're actually immersed in that environment, even in the photo. And that's what makes these photos really, really rich. I can't wait to have a proper 360-degree or 360 photo and video taker. I'm going to be going absolutely crazy with it. Let's not go back out. Let's have another look around a bit more before we finish up. Yeah, nice. What else can we see here? Maybe landmarks. We'll go to, let's have a look. What can we see? All night sky. Let's do that. Galactic. That looks cool. Oh, I like that. Look at that. Look at the contrasting colours. And I can look all the way down. No, I can't. Oh, my Gear VR needs to cool down. Well, I'm glad that I finished, but I'm glad I kept going because this is a good example of what might happen. I'm actually casting to the Chromecast right now, and this message has come up, and I've been using, to be honest, I've been using the Gear VR a fair bit before this message came up. But there you go, this does happen, and it shows that you do need to keep a keen eye on what's going on with your Gear VR. Now, I'm doing obviously a few things. I'm casting to the Chromecast, and that obviously would be using a lot more processing power as well. So there you go. That's it. Let's tap this to dismiss and get out of it. Okay, here we are. And as you can see, it's a little bit more shaky now. I'm not sure if you can notice that. Oh, it doesn't look too bad though. Let's have a look around. Interesting. But it is a little bit more shaky in my vision, obviously because we haven't let the Note 4 cool down. Actually here, I can definitely see less resolution and more sort of jarry jerkiness as well. Not to do with the Gear VR performance, it's the Note 4 performance because it's heating up. But that's a really good example of the heat issues that you might have when you're using the Gear VR with your Note 4. Wasn't expecting that, but let's keep that in the vid. Pretty cool. All right, so let's get out of here. Back to home. Oh, yes, it does. Tapped in this. Yep, still want to cool down. I think it's time to leave you all. Hit me up. Whoa, look at that. Hit me up with more questions, of course. I'll endeavor to answer every single one of you. And we'll be back with more gear, VR, and other VR content soon. Until next time.